Hi folks, and welcome to session number 1 in the Professional Approach in Sales in Power Negotiating. And we talked a little bit in the preliminary sequence about the professional approach in sales, and I gave you an overview of everything that happens. And again, this is about getting away from the hard close and making this a closing process that begins from the very first phone call when you first talk to them. And I would rather have them call me rather than me calling them. But if I am calling them or if they're calling me, the first and most important element in time management is qualification. I'm going to say, read exactly what is qualification. Number 1, in real estate, you want to make sure that they are the owner of the house. If they don't own the house, or if they don't have the right to sell it, find out who does and talk to that person. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Now, don't be rude, but you have a limited amount of time on this earth, and if you're calling people, if you have 20 names to call, if you have 20 numbers to call, and you spend an hour talking to a person that you can't help or that doesn't own the house, you just wasted that hour. You might not reach those other 19. So you had to be ruthless with your time management on this, and if you can't help them, thank you very much. I don't think that I can help you at this time. Have a nice day. Next one. The next thing you want to do is you want to determine not only do they have the ability to sell to you, but do they have the capability of making this be a profitable deal. And so as I start talking to them, I want to find out if this is a good deal. How do I do that? The first thing I want to do is I want to find out the golden question: how much do they owe on the property? And that is again, we've talked about this before. I want to qualify them to determine, do I want to waste my time? Am I wasting my time on them, or am I not wasting my time with them? If they're not qualified, I want to get off the phone with them. Once they are qualified, I'll spend 3 hours with them, readily, happily, glad to do it. But until that time, I want to go ahead and be very, very quick in chucking the ones away that don't make sense for me. So the first thing I'll do is, as I'm talking to them, I want to establish credibility. Now, they're not going to tell me the answers to these questions unless I do a couple of things. I have to let them know that I have a solution to their problems. So I have to establish credibility. And so the first thing I will do is I will explain to them, hi, my name is Reed. I'm a real estate investor. What I do is I help people solve their real estate problems, usually by buying the house, sometimes by just taking it over and making the payments. I don't know what would be the best solution for you until I ask you a few questions. Is that okay? And I asked them for permission to ask them questions, but I gave them a reason that they would want to answer them. If they say, I don't have time for that. If they don't have time for that, they're not motivated. Next, I want to ask them about their level of motivation. And again, remember the 3 levels of motivation. I want to know, number 1, what is their dreadful alternative? If they don't sell to me, what's going to happen to them? Whether they're going to foreclosure, they're going to be making double payments, they can't take care of this property and it's being vandalized. What is their dreadful alternative? Number 2, I need to know their time crunch. So you're moving to Chicago. When are you moving? Okay, great. Will you be able to make double payments? Oh, you can't. Okay, great. I want to find out what the time crunch is so that I can determine, are they motivated or not motivated? If they have to do something but it doesn't have to be until next year, they don't need to sell to me. And so I'm going to do a cursory, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them. I'm going to be very direct with them and say, you know, we're investors. We cannot buy the property unless we can buy this below market value and then sell it at just below market value to a retail buyer. So my question is, what is it worth and what are you willing to sell it for? If I can't make a profit, I can't help you. And sometimes you'll have someone that doesn't need to sell, but they're tired of the hassle. They don't want the pain of dealing with all this, the complicated details. They want someone else to take care of this for them. I can take care of that for them. I can go ahead and do all the hard work. Let me give you a hint, folks. It's not hard work. Guess who does all the hard work? The title insurance company, the appraisers, the mortgage company. All you do is you get them to agree to something. You get them to agree to the deal. That's hard work, but all the complicated stuff is taken care of by professionals. You don't have to worry about that. Your job is getting to yes. So once I have asked them, and the last element of the negotiating process is, what is their level of pain? If they don't feel any pain, they're probably not going to be very motivated. So once I know their level of motivation, then I start asking them questions. And I want to throw away people very quickly. Are they motivated? Yes or no. If they're not motivated, boom, thank you very much, click. Are they the owner of their house? They're not, thank you very much, click. What is the property worth? What are they willing to sell it for? Okay, you know, we're really a real estate investment company, and we make our money. We stay in business by buying properties below market value and then selling them for just below market value. So if you need to sell this for what it's worth and we can't make a profit, we can't do a deal. Is that fair? Now, what did I just do? I told them it's not personal, it's just business. If you want to do business with me, we're going to need to make a profit. If we don't make a profit, we can't do any business. And I gave them a reason for my ridiculously low offer. Now, here is a phrase, just sort of a side note, that I want you to use. This phrase was used by some friends of my parents. They would go to India, and this other friend would negotiate with people. And here's the phrase he would say, and I think it's golden. I'm going to make you the best offer I possibly can. But if my best offer doesn't meet your needs, can we still shake hands and walk away as friends? Is that fair? And if you put that "is that fair" on there, they've just agreed they'll listen to your offer as a business proposition and they're not going to be personally offended. So I could make an offer for $1 at this point, and if they say, oh, that's too low, okay, great. Tell me your best offer. Now, I never want to make the first offer. I always want to have them tell me what number they would take and what's your lowest number you possibly consider. And then I think of that as my highest number, and I try to work down from there. Sometimes there is no negotiating. Sometimes their lowest offer is exactly what it is. But if they go ahead and put that out first, they position themselves to allow me to respond. And sometimes their initial response will be so good, I won't bring down my offer that much at all. The next step of the qualifying process is, once I have found out what they owe, what it's worth, I want to see if there's any repairs needed. So I set up an appointment. But I ask them the question first because there might be a whole lot of repairs, and rather than me driving out there, why not ask them? Great. If you had to guess, how much would you guess your house needs in repairs to get it up to a saleable condition?